What's going on? It is Jason. Yeah. That was a little too hot, too big. Dang. Hottie God, that's a mighty hot Kupak, but it's good. Yeah. Dang, that was hot. I think I just scarred my throat. How's everybody doing? Did everybody have a great, phenomenal weekend? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what type of weekend you had. It was okay. Last week was pretty heavy. It was a heavy week. We had a lot to go over. I guess we have a lot to go over tonight, and then we'll dive into some numbers. But first, want to check in, see how everybody's doing. Why am I talking like I'm Italian, huh? So stupid. All right. I just want to check in and see how everybody's doing. All right. I am not Italian, so I don't know. I got an Italian brother-in-law, though. Yeah, Mr. Philly. All right, let me just pop open my YouTube. Doo-doo. Yeah, sorry, I don't have music right now. I don't have that music dialed in to where I'm consistent, and I'm happy because last few times that I've been doing this, I've messed it up, and I don't want to ruin the audio. So, yeah, let me know in the comments how I'm sounding. Hopefully I'm sounding okay. YouTube Studio, no, go to my channel. And we'll go in here because last few times that I've been doing, ooh, that sounds a little hot. Let me just crank it down just a little. Maybe there. Maybe that's better. Sounding a little too hot. Hot like that coffee. I was sounding a little hot like the coffee. All right. Boom. All right. Let me just pin that. All right. How's everybody doing? Yeah. So, had an exciting week this past week. We went to Flagstaff, Arizona. I just dropped a video about that today. It was my letter F vlog, F for Flagstaff. So we went to Flagstaff. It was a lot of fun. We were there 2 days, and we shot some product content for basically Walmart. It was, how do I explain it? So Walmart has this brand called Ozark Trails, and they have a plethora of camping and outdoor equipment, some of those being inflatable. And we have a client that we have a good relationship with called Best Ways. They do a lot of inflatable products, so therefore they built these products for Walmart, and all Walmart's doing is taking the branding from Ozark Trails and slapping I cannot speak today. Slap it on the Ozark Trails branding on the Best Ways product. So that's basically what's happening. And our client Best Ways needs some video content for that. So when you go to the link to the, let's say, an air mattress or a sofa that is by Ozark Trails, a video plays. Yeah, that's the type of content that we create for them, which is a lot of fun. We've done it on numerous kayaks, inflatable unicorns, all kinds of stuff. A lot of their products are in Costco too, so we do the same thing for their Costco videos. Super fun, really great team to work with and enjoy it. So this, Pat, maybe we'll go over some footage that I shot. I was really stoked how the footage all turned out. I was happy with it. A lot of times, you know, I'm probably my hardest critique when it comes to content, and I'm never really satisfied, but was pretty satisfied because, you know, we ran a little late we didn't have much of a budget, so couldn't rent the normal package that we normally get. Typically we shoot with the FX9. We have some cine glass. We go that route, but we kept it pretty light this time, and I'm pretty satisfied with how everything turned out, with how we rolled this time. So it was a lot of fun, but love working with those guys. We worked with some models, and it was fun working with them. One of our sets of models was a family, which is kind of fun. They were actually in this previous Super Bowl. They did a Super Bowl commercial. They got to go fly to Portugal, and yeah, it was pretty neat chatting it up with them. But yeah, it was a good week. Unfortunately, it's during the whole product shoot that we were shooting, that's when the incident happened with Charlie Kirk, which is very terrible. I have to be honest, I don't know much about him or his position, and never followed him on social media or checked out any of his YouTube content or social media content. So I had very little. I think I've seen a handful of his videos before where he, debates people. And so I think I've seen some of those that have gone viral, but man, it was a very tragic and horrible thing to have happen, especially to him and his family. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that not only did that happen, whatever narrative the assailant had against him, to where he felt that was the necessary means to whatever it was that he was dealing with, it turned out to feel that was the solution, which was very tragic and horrible that somebody had to die for that. And he had, his family, sure, it's been all over the news, his family, his young kids and all that stuff. It just, it breaks my heart. But I think the other huge thing for me in that whole process that has been challenging to myself is seeing how certain things are spinning the narratives to cause divisiveness, a separation, with people. I've witnessed it firsthand with other people that I'm close to, and it's like, oh man, is that the stance that you're taking? I mean, we're all entitled to have an opinion and feel a certain way, but let's not ruin friendships over it. Let's not divide our if there was anything that would be important, is let's come together, as a human being and be, what can we do to help nurture this and walk with grace over others, over the whole entire thing. It's just really, it's a bummer, and it breaks my heart, to be quite honest. So in many ways, but so you had that happen. There's some positives in the week though. One, was the shoot that we did for Walmart. The second is I hit 2 years in my sobriety on the 8th, so I got to pick up my 2-year coin, as they call it, the heavy metal. I got to pick up my 2-year coin at Celebrate Recovery on the 11th. We had a huge event at Celebrate Recovery. We had our lead pastor at Sun Valley Community Church come drop his wisdom on denial, and it was fire, man. He has a tremendous gift that God has blessed him with, and I know he works hard as well to share a message that experience, strength, and hope, not only as a pastor, but also somebody who's walked the 12 steps and is in recovery himself. And just, it's a huge, when you have, in our church is fairly large. Like, I would say we have a pretty large church. We have 5 campuses, a huge congregation. a really solid online presence, and for the lead pastor to, from the pulpit, from the stage, express how important recovery is, just, that changes lives right there. That breaks stigma. That breaks, not only is God using him, but they're breaking chains, where people often feel stuck and afraid or shameful for whatever it is that they're dealing with. To have the courage to be like, wait, that's the lead pastor of the church who's up there sharing his heart and his testimony and expressing like how important recovery is to us, and that recovery is for everybody, which is so true. Thanks, Joe. I just looked down and saw a message. Appreciate you, Joe. Yep, 2 years, man. It's a beautiful thing. By God's grace, I'm able to hit the 2-year mark, and I owe a lot to my community, to my family, to God. God number one, and then family, friends, my support, my sponsor, who I don't like all the time. And my sponsor be pissing me off sometimes, the things he has me do, but they're important. He keeps me sober, so he's one of the reasons why I'm doing the deal. So, but shout out to my sponsor, Eric, who's a grinder like me and doesn't let me get away with BS. So I appreciate him. So that was, that was awesome this week. I got my glasses now from LensCrafter. I don't know if you guys recall the story that I just paid $600 something for these lenses. I didn't realize how much glasses were gonna be, but these are what they call progressive lenses. So they've taken a little bit to get used to, because up top here is my prescription, because I have trouble seeing things far away, but I want to be able to see things close too. So therefore, it has this wide spectrum of where I'm able to see close and I'm able to see far. I don't know what kind of magic they do to make that happen, but every once in a while I'll hit a spot where I can't see, and then my eyes are like, whoa, like what's going on? So it takes a little bit to get used to. It's a little woozy. Yeah, but anyway, so got my glasses, did a podcast with a couple homies. I'm excited about, gonna be chopping that together and doing a recovery podcast. I think that would be fun. So stay tuned. I'll probably be sharing a little bit about that. Sharing it with my homies, Wade and Jason, another Jason. Man, we got like 4 or 5 Jasons in, our recovery community. So, but yeah. And then, what else? What else has happened? That's pretty much it. That's all I can pretty much think of that's happened this week. A lot. I was out of town for a little bit, so I didn't really do much of creating. I'm on letter G. I do have an idea for it, so I'm working on that. And then just get that chain and ball rolling again, so I can be pumping out content, man. 1,000 subscribers aren't gonna fall out of the sky. I gotta keep hustling and getting subscribers. So yeah, I'm almost at 800, which is huge. I'm 700. We'll go over it tonight. And this is a good segue to start diving into the YouTube analytics. And for those that are new, or if you catch this for the first time, my name is Jason. We're gonna hop into my YouTube analytics. I go live every Sunday to share with you guys how the channel's doing. I feel as those coming with me that subscribe to the channel, it's your information just as much as it's mine, and I like to share that and be transparent, and I'll do that till the ends of time. So yeah, let's go ahead and we'll see how the channel's doing. What I like to do is I like to give a comparison. So I will compare this week to the previous week, just so you can see how the channel is progressing, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, let's dive into the numbers. I have a little bit of a setup here. I got my talking head cam here. I have my MacBook here, so you're seeing my feed that I'm seeing right there. I don't have my BTS cam set up, so I can show you guys some BTS. I got lazy. Okay, that's all it is. I got lazy. I didn't set it up, which I probably should have, but I just I don't need a second cam. Does anybody even care? I say that's terrible thinking to think. I should always stay consistent with what I'm doing, and I shouldn't have been lazy, and I should have set that up. So I'll do better. Yes, so I'll do better. All right, let's go ahead and dive into these numbers. So I'm going to minimize this, go over here, do picture in picture. There I am. What's up? We'll pull up my YouTube channel. We'll pull up another one so you're not seeing my face. That's weird. Here we go. We'll throw up the YouTube. We'll blow this up. And then, here's my pastor right there. Yeah. Chad Moore. And then let's go into YouTube Studio. Yep. And then we'll go into the vloggy or analytics. All right. So here we are. This is what I call the top 3 for me. This is views, watch time, and subscribers. This is what the channel's done in the last 28 days, which is freaking awesome. I've had 24,000 views, 134 watch hours, and 15 new subscribers. And then here has been the top content in the last 28 days. But what I like to do is go up here and then go to custom and then change the date to this week. So boom, hit apply. All right, so this is what the channel's done this week, which is pretty freaking awesome. I got 9,000 views, 45 watch hours, and 7 new subscribers. Thank you guys for coming along with us on this journey. That's freaking awesome. All right, let's go ahead and now that's the top 3 for me. Let's compare the top 3 to the previous week. So we go up to advanced mode, then we add comparison up here. Yep, right up there, oh, over there, up there. We'll add comparison, getting all turned around. Period over period, hit add. And then here we are. So previous week I got 10,344, which is, that week was a banger. That was a banger week. I had a lot of traction on a few of the videos. So yeah, it was a solid week that week. More double performance than what I normally get. And here this week, I've gotten about 1,000 less than that. So that tells me that there's been a little bit of some traction to the channel. To have it just dip 1,000 views or so. Normally it's 4,000 to 5,000 is what I've been typically getting a week. So having it sit here at like 9,000, 10,000 views is pretty awesome. That tells me that some of my other videos are getting traction. So, and yeah, and this is the top content for this week, and we'll go over that at the end. But yeah, this is where we are on views. Let's go ahead and look at watch hours. Again, we're going over the top 3. That was views. This is watch hours. So I had a little bit more uptick on watch hours this week than the previous week. The previous week is purple, so this week's blue. 46 watch hours the previous week, 54 this week. So a little bit of an uptick on watch hours, which is fun. And now subscribers. yeah, so the previous week I had 4 subscribers. This week I got 7, which is freaking awesome. So a solid week again, which I'm really stoked about. You know, I'd be stoked regardless, to be quite honest, but this just feels good because I'm working towards a goal. Some of this stuff could be disheartening at times, especially when I'm losing subscribers and the channel's dipping. It could be a little defeating at times, but this is great. I'm excited for it because I really would love to hit that goal, and we're on track, I guess. Honestly, no, we're not on track to hit the goal by the end of the year. It would be pretty hard. If I do it, there's got to be something that gives, though, that gets me there. But right now, it just based on the number of subscribers that I'm getting, it just isn't feasible, I don't think, to hit 220 something subscribers to go. I just don't know if it's going to be feasible, but you never know. We'll see. I'm going to still rally and get us there, but I got to be realistic as well and be like, well, it may not happen. Regardless, I'm still going to create content. So you guys are stuck with me regardless. All right. And then let's go. That was the top 3. That was views, watch hours, and subscribers. And then I like to geek out on a few other things that are in here. So we'll go ahead and walk through those. I get out of comparison mode here. And then, oops, I didn't mean stay in advanced mode. And then what I like to look at is the geography. See where people are watching from. So see, this is where my glasses are giving me a little bit of a headache. Got to take them off. United States at 5,610. India at 451. And then we got Indonesia at 367. And then Canada at 184, United Kingdom at 134, 102 Australia. We got Australia, the Philippines, Malaysia, New Zealand. I think that's kind of a new one. Man, that's dope. South Korea, I think that's kind of a new one too. Yeah, fun. Awesome. Uzbekistan, Brazil, Pakistan, Japan. What's that one? Algeria? Sweet. Worldwide, baby. Worldwide. Let's go. All right. And then let's go ahead and hop over to viewer age. All right. Here we are. 13 to 17, 1%. The biggest piece of the pie goes to 25 to 34-year-olds. Second big, 35 to 44, third 18 to 24, 45 to 54. This seems about on point with everything. This is typically where we're at. I don't ever see this changing, so maybe I can stop looking at it, but it's fun. Anyway. And then go to viewer gender. This one always roughly stays the same, 70 to 80% male versus female. And then, let's go. Now, device type is always mobile phone. So no sense in looking at it. But the operating system has fluctuated at times. For a while there, we were straight up Android, and then Apple came in strong for a couple weeks where, iOS took the top spot, but Android's been holding it down for the last 7 weeks, I think. Let's see who's on top this week. And the winner is Android. It's not, it was closer. So, yeah, it was a little closer. But Android wins again. That's awesome. And so shout out to all my Android users out there who's consuming content. All right, let's look at the top performing contents of this week. So this jumping chola, jumping chola cactus attack. That one has gotten 1,267 views. That's one of the top performing videos this week. All shorts pretty much have been rocking the top spot. This FX6 one has gotten 437. Like, some of my older content is starting to get a little bit of traction, which is kind of fun. Obviously, this Christmas lights turkey bites video is just unreal. It's like at 31,000 something views. It's nuts. I did a little dance celebrating that victory. But yeah, that's the top content for this period. So yay, thank you guys so much. Just to recap, 9,000 views, 54 watch hours, and 7 new subscribers this week. Woo woo. Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. We'll go back to here. And that is good. That's awesome. I'm stoked. You're right, Joe. It's when, not, that's true. It may not happen. It's just a matter of when it will happen, because it will eventually happen. I mean, the channel is progressing. It's progressing that direction. So, I mean, I think you've been with me when I've had 1 or 2 subscribers. You've been one of the first subscribers. So, yeah, you've been rocking with me for a while. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there, right? Is that well, it's not. I mean, I have some control if I creatively get us there, but we'll see. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure at all. All right, what else? That's pretty much it, man. That's all I have for you guys. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. If you haven't checked out my latest video, go check that out. It's F. It's the letter F in the letter vlog that I'm doing. Yeah, made it to F this far. And for a while there, I'll just be honest, I had A through D, E. I had A through E done. Like, I did those. I had them in the bank. And then for whatever reason, I had this novel idea to just release one Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. But then things started happening where I was extremely busy and I should have just released one a week, and then I would have some space to kind of breathe a little. But oh well, here we are. I'm going to do them when I do them, and they're going to drop when they drop, and it's going to be fun. So, yeah. All right, Joe, we'll see you later, man. Appreciate you. And with that, I am going to go ahead and tap out of here. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Thank you guys so much. And with that, I will catch you on the next one. Yeah. Oh, no.